Hello, everybody, and welcome to Curtis's Podcast Network. And this AFC South show number 148 here on the channel. With me, as always, a resident Jaguars fan, Isaiah Duval's finest, Michelle.
That's me.
You can find him at Duval's finest on Twitter, and you can also find him on onlyjags.com. Um, so we're gonna be breaking down a little bit about the AFC South team needs. Who's been re-signed, and then maybe get a little bit into free agency. We're gonna save some draft talk for later on. There's like later episodes because there's just so much time to do that. So first of all, let's get some housekeeping stuff done. For those who are unaware, this entire week, starting today, we will have each of our sister channels debuting their first content. So please go check out Titan Takeaways, Third and Teal, Unstabled, and that Real Team in Texas podcast, or the Real Texas Team podcast. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I always end up saying that. But yeah, so I will be the host of that Real Texas Team podcast. Isaiah, obviously, Third and Teal. Blake Bellamy, our resident Titans fan, will be hosting Titan Takeaways. And then Jeff Big Steck himself will be hosting Unstabled with Chaotically Intolerant's own Alex Boyajian. So shouts to them for doing that. And go ahead, hit the like, subscribe button on this channel and those. I'll probably have at least one of them popping up at the end if I can. But yeah. So we're still trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. Like goal, let's go 10 because it's the off season and people don't like clicking the button. So whatever. Isaiah, we're staring down the pike here of free agency. People starting today on 3/11. Teams are now going to be able to start negotiating with players on contracts for a new team, and they will not become official until the league year begins on Wednesday. But we will start hearing rumblings of movement sooner rather than later. So, from the Jags' perspective, who do you think has the best shot in the free agent pool to be wearing teal next season?
I mean, it's kind of a tough one just because of how many potential free agents there are out there. There's a lot of safeties, a bunch of DBs got released. Patrick Queen is out there. I'd love to see Patrick Queen in teal. Just having another linebacker in the room, and that way we can potentially move on from Foye Oluokun if he shows any more drop off this year. Queen's only 26 years old. Oluokun will be 30, I think, or 31 by the end of the season. So then that'd be nice there, and that also gives us a little bit of flexibility if anybody gets injured. Realistically, I mean, one of the free agents I'd love to see would be like Mitch Morris, Andre James, Lloyd Cushenberry, just a new center in town. We get Mitch Morris in for a year, let a new center like we got in the second or third. If we get somebody, kind of sit behind him for a year and learn, that'd be awesome. But just a couple of decent free agents. I don't think we're going to be too active just because of the cap space and everything we've got available. But yeah, I mean, those are kind of people I'm excited for.
Okay, that's fair. We talked a little bit about it before the show started, but the Jaguars team needs center, corner, interior defensive line, and wide receiver. What is the most pressing need of those, in your opinion?
Definitely center. Luke Fortner's terrible. He gets thrown around like a baby, like a rag doll every play. There's no doubt the center is our most pressing need as of right now.
Okay, that's fair. With the re-signing of Ezra Cleveland to a pretty team-friendly deal, obviously the Jags, we know that they're strapped for cash after they spent a mountain of money in the past couple off seasons to bring in people. They also bring back Jeremiah Ledbetter, Daniel Thomas, and franchise tag Josh Allen. Franchise tag on Josh Allen, is that the right move or is that just a right now move?
mean, it's definitely the right move, considering that if we don't do that, he can negotiate with other teams. I think Josh wants to be a Jaguar. I know they're working on everything. I don't know if it's the numbers or the years. I don't really know what's holding them up. They kind of have been giving out a lot of 3-year deals lately. I'm sure he's going to want between a 5 to 7 year deal for a long term guy. But it's just one of those things where not really sure what's holding it up. I don't know that he's necessarily going to hold it up over money in terms of like he's going to need 30 or 40 million a season. But at the same time, of course, everybody wants to get paid, so we'll kind of see on that one. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty optimistic about it. I think we're going to be fine. But I mean, franchise tag was definitely the right move at the time.
Okay. Yeah, these contract negotiations are tough when you get to the top tier guys, the guys who are, making hella bread, making hella performance happen on the field. Because people just want to back up the Brinks truck, but for how long? With Houston, our team needs our running back, wide receiver, interior defensive line, edge rusher, linebacker, corner, and safety. The corner safety, it's Steven Nelson's going to be going in free agency. Tavier Thomas is going to be a free agent. So that literally just leaves Derek Stingley and then a couple practice squad guys that we signed to the roster after the year had officially concluded. We have re-signed Dalton Schultz to a 3-year, $36 million deal. And we have re-signed depth piece Eric Murray in the secondary. He also is a big special teams contributor. I think that's the predominant reason that he's back. But names like Justin Simmons being a free agent, and Denver kind of did it to themselves with the whole Russell Wilson fiasco. But now they're cleaning house. Jerry Judy's getting traded for potato chips, and Justin Simmons is walking the street looking for a job. Well, it would be one hell of an addition to that defense, and I'm pretty sure D'Amico Ryans could put him to some good use. Justin Simmons would be my big target for free agency. If not Justin Simmons, it's Chris Jones. Chris Jones, as an interior defensive lineman, he's been one of the best, if not the best, the last several years. And if he's not in that conversation, he's in the conversation to be those. Houston's got a lot of cap space. They've used, I think it was like $8-9 million between Eric Murray and Dalton Schultz in cap space this season. But the most pressing need, I guess, would have to be interior defensive line, because right now Sheldon Rankins is a free agent, and we have Malik Collins on the roster, but everybody else beneath him was kind of shaky at best. I would prefer to see Malik Collins as the third defensive tackle. So I'd love to see Rankins come back, and I'd love to see literally anybody the same tier as Rankins or better. That's where Chris Jones comes in. We're letting Jonathan Grenard test free agency after his best statistical season in the NFL. 27 years old, going into his 5th year out of Florida, your boy.
Oh, yeah.
Would you be upset if some sort of deal was made for Jonathan Grenard to come be a Jaguar?
I mean, I wouldn't be upset, but I don't think that's a pressing need for us as an outside defensive lineman. I think that depending on what we're going to play, I think that Allen and Allen and Walker kind of fill that position, and I don't think that there's any need for somebody along those lines right now.
With the let's take a peek at some of these writers. Okay, maybe not. Lockett seems to have agreed to a 2-year restructured deal. Interesting. Let's look at the wide receiver position. That's both. It's a spot of need for both of us. So there's got to be number one, Calvin Ridley. How would you feel about a reunion with Calvin Ridley coming back?
I mean, I wouldn't be upset by it, but I don't want to lose a second round pick over him. I don't think he's really worth that. So that's kind of one of those things where, he could be, and I could be wrong, but at the same time, he hasn't really shown that.
Okay. Number two, Marquise Brown.
No, I don't like Marquise Brown. Never really have. I don't think he's I don't think he's anything more than a 2 or a 3 in the league.
I agree. I don't think he's anything more than really just kind of a gimmick kind of guy. Like he can go fast, and that while that's definitely sought after in the league, it's not everything. You want somebody to be able to stretch the field, but it's not like the only thing that person can do. Number three is surprisingly Gabe Davis.
Yeah, I did see that. I know Trevor Lawrence followed him and Mitch Morris on Instagram. So clearly that means we're going to sign both of them because you don't follow someone on Instagram in the NFL unless your team is signing them.
No,
Me and my millennial thought. Well, actually, no, I'm Gen Z technically, but anyway, it doesn't matter. These new age kids and their Instagrams and Snapper chats and
yeah. Number four, Curtis Samuel, 28 years old.
I'm good.
He's basically to me another Marquise Brown, but he has more injury problems.
Yeah, not as
Five,
fast.
yeah. Five, Darnell Mooney.
I think Mooney's actually pretty solid. He's just been a shitty situation with the Bears,
Yeah. No, I completely agree. He got drafted to a team that just refuses to have good quarterback play. KJ Osborne.
I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole.
Odell Beckham.
Nope, wouldn't touch him either.
Tyler Boyd.
I would consider Tyler Boyd. Get rid of Zay Jones and bring in Tyler Boyd.
Okay. Kendrick Bourne.
Meh.
Michael Thomas.
I'd be willing to kick the tires on Thomas.
He's 31. Same age
Depending
as
on what he'd signed for.
Yeah. For me, I mean, obviously the one name on this list that really jumps out at you is Gabe Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Gabe Davis is, to me, the big dog in this one. I think Calvin Ridley, because of the longevity, probably has a little bit of an edge in terms of production and whatnot. But Gabe Davis has played on a good team. He knows what it's like to play deep, meaningful playoff football. Might be a good culture kind of thing, just to have somebody who's been in those kind of situations bring that kind of mentality, and like, if we want to be there, this is how we do it. I would love Gabe Davis. I don't know what the assumed cap hit would be for him based on market value, but
yeah, I don't know. He's a weird one.
Yeah, it would kind
of one of those tweener guys.
He is because he's a 2, but flirts with being a 1. I think
it depends on how Josh Allen's feeling that day.
That's true, and if Stephon Diggs is,
if him and Stephon Diggs are fighting, or if they're besties. Ooh,
yeah,
Roma Dunze is there for my first pick. I gotta take him.
You doing a mock draft?
Absolutely not. No, of course not. A little bit of some Madden off season, a little bit.
Okay. All right. I didn't know if you were multitasking.
I'm multitasking. I'm not gonna lie.
All right. So with the Titans, this will be a little bit more of a stretch for me to talk about them, but the Titans have the second most cap space in the NFL. They've got a long list of free agents testing the water. They've got a long list of guys who are older in the tooth, or longer in the tooth, like Danico Autry, who's 33, 34 years old. Don't know what kind of deal he would be looking for at this juncture. You've got dudes on the offensive line who just did not pan out. I imagine at some point that Andre Dillard's either going to be cut or traded for like 4 years in the future, 7th-round draft pick or something, just to get him off the roster. Tennessee is basically one giant hole in the fact that their roster doesn't have much. It doesn't have many pieces to kind of build on going forward. The pieces that they have now are aging, and you can tell that this team is in the middle of a rebuild. So with that in mind, what free agent do you think would go to Tennessee and be able to make an immediate impact as a starter?
Is any of them like every free agent? Is that the wrong answer?
No, I honestly, we were going through some of the list earlier, and you were like, "That guy's a backup. That guy's a backup."
Yeah,
that would be an upgrade for most of the Titans' offensive line. They need a
Mhm.
tight end that can block. They need a wide receiver not named DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, no kidding.
They need a lot of things. And Derrick Henry's testing the free agent waters. Maybe he doesn't come back, and then you just got Tajay Spears. Maybe they're just going to build key pieces through the draft and just kind of supplement with free agency. I don't know, but honestly, I think Mike Onwenu is a dead set that if I'm the Titans, I'm bringing in Mike Onwenu immediately.
Yeah.
I would try to get Trent Brown. He's played left and right tackle. His best years, for whatever reason, have only been in a Patriots uniform. And anytime he's played anywhere else, it's been hot dog shit. With the Colts, significantly less holes. I feel like their holes are primarily on defense, but you've got
Their holes normally stay pretty filled.
good. They could use a corner. They could use some safety help. Linebacker probably. I could see them trying to make a play for Patrick Queen. On the other hand, I know they don't like spending money, so they could do nothing. They could re-sign dudes from the team last year who were rotational, and that be the end of it. That's what's more likely to me. But gun to my head, most like the one free agent that pops off that could probably be an immediate impact player for them.
Justin Simmons.
Justin Simmons, yeah. John
They
Grenard.
just lost Rodney McLeod, didn't they?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did. They did. There are a couple other safeties out there that I think people are gonna try to see what's up. Geno Stone. He's 26 years old. He
He's
bounced
slower
around.
than dirt, but he's damn good at football.
He is. He is. You can be slow and have good technique and be able to still make plays. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The Colts are just kind of an interesting team, but you got anything else?
Not really, no.
Okay. Well, before we sign off, I want to say this last little piece here. For those who don't know, Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball, passed away recently at the age of 68 years old.
Rip Toriyama.
Rip. As you can tell by the Goku stuff behind me, I'm a big fan. I hope that there's somehow of he's got like a vault of like unseen pages of comics that he's just not let the world touch yet.
His son and Toyotaro, the guy that's responsible for Dragon Ball Heroes, are taking over and continuing Dragon Ball.
That makes my heart feel happy. I feel love now. Well, on that note, folks, be good people. And also check out all of the other YouTube channels. That would be great.
Go Jags.
Titans takeaways, third and teal, unstable, that Texas team pod or that real Texas team podcast. I'm never going to get it right on the first try. It's just not going to happen. Check them all out. Like, subscribe. We will have all of the content coming out all week this week. It'll be one podcast or one channel at a time. And you'll get like 7 videos, 7 different.
Absolutely bukkake with content.
Exactly.
Oh, Luke McCaffrey, let's go.
So, with that being said, y'all be good people. We are Texans.